One team that I want to see step up this game is a team that stumbled very early in the last one. We've seen them being very verbal on social media and how they're disappointed with their performance, but they're doing everything they can to fix mistakes, which is the #1 thing to do if you want to improve. NIP. They need to get something going, and it has to be this week.
Yes, because the last game was a tragedy. I did manage to speak to Vard briefly, and they did plan on pulling up there. That was where they were planning on stopping. So it wasn't just a case of, we got a knock, so we had to stop.
Okay.
And as they said, we knew FaZe were down the ridge. We tried to catch them, but then we were trying to hold Desperados off, and then obviously FaZe happened, and they pushed in behind them. So this is quite a northern plane, though. It's going to cause a few problems for, say, anyone that wants to go to Los Angeles or Chumacera. So we are going to see some switches, which is why we have DA up in this top northern area. 7 going back to their northern sort of water treatment spread weird loot strategy.
I don't think it's that weird, to be honest. There's so good loot under Miramar these days anyway. And look at the...
N47.
I mean, the controller from there, they're going to go west.
Alcantara, maybe?
They're going for cars. I would assume they're taking cars and going south. But it could, I mean, it would make sense for them to stick around on that side anyway and wait for that first circle. They know for a fact that no one is south right now. And they have the western road control anyway. So, I mean, if it does shift south, east even... Go down around the bottom. You've done it so many times before.
Same with Desperados. Exactly. Way out on the eastern side. They can just carry on down to Impala. They want to stick around. G2 do have a pretty widespread loot.
Go south in 47. Get going. The thing is, right now, everyone knows that because of the plane path the way it was, there's so much up for grabs right now.
Yeah.
You better abuse that. This is such a hard place to find anything to call your own if you get in late normally. And now everyone knows, I mean, with everyone knowing that there's so much up for grabs, I want to see some of these far northern teams that normally go, we're just going to be late anyway, get going early.
And looking at the map, obviously, with the circle there is, we always know, obviously, you've got the unplayable area on the western side. So that's, I would say, 25% of the map, maybe. Maybe. A little bit less, maybe. But then you've also got the island at the bottom, which it almost certainly is not going to go to with this circle.
Yeah,
so we've immediately probably trimmed about 40% of the circle, maybe even 45% of the circle off in Phase 1. So we may see one of those games where it gets a little bit busy and a little bit aggressive in sort of, say, Phase 2, Phase 3. We'll see may see losing about 20 players. So it might be one of those slow end games.
It very well could be.
We'll see.
As a contrast to that, though, there are so many, we call it unplayable areas, and that's not to be confused with actual unplayable area on the western side. But we had the hill ending that we saw Knights push up on the compound just south of Monte Nuevo the other day. That whole area is like almost a half square kilometer was open with no one able to play from there for the longest time. It was Liquid who ended up getting themselves the win from that compound. They played it super well, by the way, from there. Then down south, if you move further, once you go down south of Chumacera, these hills are so tall, it's so difficult to do anything from there once you have to rotate up really far, down really far, like big valleys, huge mountain tops. Rotations in general, I mean, we talk about what you call horizontal rotations. As long as you go south of Chumacera, it's practically impossible.
Well, the team that we were just looking at there, TSM, obviously won the last game, but they are going to have a tricky rotation because they're almost plumb center of everyone. Because of the plane path, they have multiple teams to their east and west, so it's going to be a very tricky route for them to try and pick out. They're going to be hoping that the likes of Team Liquid go on their standard early rotates. I'm wondering just how early on the rotate they may go, because Team Liquid might be thinking, we don't need to go crazy early. A team that is, FaZe Clan, Fuzzface, is almost central point right now. I like
it. They were obviously in the sky looking at how many teams were jumping with them. They counted out that only one was going down south. That's got to be GamerLegion. They probably don't know if they have taken Chumacera already, which is why they're staying on the left side. You can see Fuzz scouting from there, running around and looting. Just getting a little extra, and that's what you do. I mean, you go early saying, you know what, I don't need to get all the loot, because where I go, I'll be able to pick up something anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Misa and CrowCrowd up in El Pozo, they've got a pretty straight shot straight south. N47, we were talking about them dropping off, obviously, over on the west coast. They are heading down that road to Valle del Mar. The whole of FaZe Clan now all coming out of Monte Nuevo. They're going to have the Knights shadowing them as they head south to the central location. Everybody getting in their vehicles, starting to make the move. Obviously, GamerLegion in Chumacera will be going just up the hillside. They may even end up sticking on the top plateau of Chumacera here.
I want to see how many of these teams split, because a lot of these compounds don't have direct line of sight to other compounds. So it's one of those, we're split and there's nothing we can do if one team gets pushed, because, well, the transition from one compound to another can take so long because of the terrain they're in. Do they split or do teams sit tight? I hope for the teams coming in late that nobody splits, because there's not going to be anything in the center.
Do you think we'll ever get a game?
I don't know.
Ever?
No.
Just any single game where we don't have a car vehicle knock? Do you think it's possible?
People laugh about it and kind of they just kind of laugh it off, right? But in the long run, in terms of a whole tournament, the amount of knocks you can do in your teammates, it really comes to play a big role.
Resource, resource is used. Obviously, it's a revive. It's another med kit used.
I want it.
That's fine.
That's lucky.
It's fine.
Oh, hi, Minox.
And there's another one.
Guys, we need to get a PUBG. Can we make a segment on that? If there's any production out back saying, can we have like the PUBG driving ed school? Just Paula, the driving instructor class for all these guys? Because this is happening way too much.
Oh, Edelweiss switching to passenger seat, trying to get a rundown. MBS jumps on the back of the buggy, takes a bit of damage. Edelweiss is low at the moment, switches over to the mini and tries to finish off, but now Vard will catch him from the side. Krabik's in position to try and get some return fire, but the damage is done. Edelweiss is gone.
NIP, you get that one kill, get the hell out of here. What's come to cost them so many times is that first player down early. We even saw it last game. Iroh once again getting caught in a rough situation. Fortunately, TSM managed to turn that one into a win anyway, but for NIP, that has been one of their main factors, losing players early in situations where arguably they might not have had to. So getting out of this one alive, even getting a kill to it, very good for them. Hopefully, despite being beaten now by a couple of teams to the center, they can get something in this one too.
Yeah, they're approaching Monte Nuevo NIP. Just got a glimpse of ENCE and G2 here. They're moving down. You can see on the east coast side, figure out they've got Desperados just ahead of them as well. It is fairly clear. They can just go through Los Leones, etc. You don't need to go around it because there's nobody in Los Leones. It's completely open. TSM, we were talking about tricky rotates that they may have. They're going to pull up at the church. It is a strong compound if the circle goes to them. But of course, it is slightly off-center at the moment. They're banking on the fact that because there's this, 45% of unplayable sort of terrain that the teams won't be looking at, they're banking on the fact it's going to pull to the northeast.
Yeah, unless if the next circle hard shifts south, then I think we're pretty much guaranteed that it won't go to that island. And then there's only so many places it can go, that fourth circle, right? So, I mean, even though it's on the eastern side, we have seen that church be somewhat of a circle magnet times before, and we thought it was going to be out. It shifts over in that direction a couple of times, so I think TSM would stick around at least for a little while longer. At least until that next circle shows us in what area of the map we're ending.
NIP, just south of Monte Nuevo. Yeah, it's wedged in, that's for damn sure. Razor Edge coming over. They're obviously the most northern team up in Campo Militar, etc. DA were up there with them as well. Both coming down on the south road. Probably expect them to sit and play the edge as well. There's no reason for them to try and get center now. They know they're way too late to try and do that.
Now that we have the map up as we do, FaZe's split, I think, is really smart because teams at this point, like, they're using the fact that other teams have set themselves up around them to know they won't get breached. DA, they won't be crashing center now. Ratio Edge won't either. 7, nope. G2, ENCE, none of them are going to go in there. And they're going to have this spot until that next circle shift's guaranteed. And that is so much landmass in the very, very center of the circle that they can claim knowing no one's going to come towards them.
Yeah, it's a decent north-south split with the circle the way it is. ENCE continuing to run parallel with G2 around the edge of Los Leones. We're going to slowly come in. Looks like it will be... your car's going. Come on, Squeaky. I was just waiting to see the knock in the
running into the side of the car.
Running into the side. I was just waiting for it there.
Could you imagine?
G2 are going actually quite deep.
I like it. They're hitting the sweet spot. Hit the circle as soon as the new one pops, and we are indeed not going south. Doesn't make the situation any easier, though. A lot of the splits that are being held now most likely won't be held with this new circle shift because we're going right into the valleys, and believe me, this terrain is awful
FaZe are going to meet
play
Knights.
around.
FaZe are going to meet the Knights at the same compound either side. The Knights are the other side of the road, though, so they should be safe. You can see the Knights coming blasting down the hill. They both wanted the similar compound. It is going to be an okay enough. Then I don't expect to see anyone pushing the roadside against each other and going for a full full push across.
It's going to be a stalemate for a long time, I would assume. Unless if they get 2 knocks on the other side. 2 knocks, I think, is going to be the go-to for either team.
So that Na'Vi push we just saw, they've surrounded NIP.
Yep.
Just south of Ladrillera. And here is NIP, MBS and Gaxi. They're going to make it work here. Best of Loss going to come around the corner. Does he expect them? Takes a big slice. 1 hit point's all he's got left. Going to come around. The grenade is going to force him into the compound. And he should get taken down. He will. NIP going to collect themselves the 2nd kill. A good start for the Ninjas.
Good start for them indeed. And these are the situations as well where we've seen NIP fall apart a little. Once things get stressed, oh, there's a guy here. The communication falls. They let one get killed off instead of the trade coming in. Snark! Damage done towards him.
With mxey over the side, if they get a knock here, we may see FaZe push this one.
They need to. I mean, mxey cannot go down. That's his role right now. You're going to sit tight. You're going to wait right there. You're going to do damage, but you are not getting knocked because that's going to be him down. There's no way they can cross and get the res up.
There's no one in the surrounding area that really can threaten. If N47 were to look down the hill, maybe they'd get a glimpse of him, but nobody's really causing problems. 7 have took a wide rotate. Senya caught out by Miraku. That is up on the hillside. I think Aduzi should just get the revive on him. That's not going to get flushed out. ENCE still not got in the circle. They're the only team now that have got to find a route in. I think they're going to go deep south, just like Desperados have. Look at the flank play, though. Drayden and Reels on the move.
They know that no one's sitting above one that has the angle up there, and they're allowing for the players now to cross to the road. This is going to be on mxey. He has to realize the threat is coming from there, and the guys as well inside the building. Oh, wait, they're not peeking anymore. They have to be doing something else. Nate's thrown forward. Maybe a bit prematurely, I think. Drayden could possibly have pushed mxey out that side and actually spotted mxey and got a chance to shoot at him. That's what we talked about yesterday. Don't throw the nades if you have a chance to get the immediate shot off.
Giving his position away.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going to get the double reload. He's going to try and set it up.
There comes Reciprocity.
Oh, it's Reciprocity catching him in the back. Now, that's interesting. So that's up on the hillside. So mxey's going to have to tuck himself in. Drayden's going to go back to the compound, realise not really playing out, bit of a risky play. Team Liquid still got a very open spread as well. Raise Your Edge are taking shots down here. That's coming down way up in the hills of Ladrillera.
What is worse than a fight that gets dragged out, a valley fight that gets dragged out with the audience sitting on the line? This is an arena and everybody wants a piece of the pie.
Gustav's got himself, Chumacera, by the way, just off the side, got Reciprocity, G2 and TSM within it at the moment. So that's going to get tasty if something goes that way. Of course, Circle Shrink coming in, phase 2 about to end. ENCE are slowly rolling in down the south, coming in towards the road of Valadomar. They may bump into the backside of Desperado as we see where the next circle will take us.
I think one of the main reasons we don't see any of the 3 teams that has a chance to do damage, Reciprocity, Raise Your Edge, or N47. That's an interesting shift. You guys can't really see it necessarily on the map right now, but the whole side of the mountain that GamerLegion and N47 is on, that is pretty much in, you can't just cross that. There's going to be so much fire draining on towards you. Everyone will be coming in from either the south, which has what? 200 meters like wide rotation path, or straight down from the north. This is going to be a very, very difficult circle.
ENCE's play coming in really late. It's actually paid off.
Perfect.
Yeah. 7, of course, are going to be laughing. N47 have already got over there down in the valley. They're going to start taking the compounds. NIP done similar. They've shuffled further down south and managed to get hold of the compound. The problem being Team Liquid, Desperado is all coming into Valadomar at the moment. FaZe and the Knights, who disengages first. It's a case of they both kind of on the edge of the circle here, where the Knights are going. If they can get up that hillside, it's going to give them an overlook on mxey.
They have to stop and help. Right now, Reels is caught off. mxey is miles out in the open. He's hard scoping down towards him. Snark spots Aitzy. He's left alone as well. The Knights players are so split. 2 went across. Reels is caught behind a tree, and Snark is all on his own. This is going to be hard, and I think FaZe, they're taking this fight one at a time. We're all together. We need to abuse that. Snark, you need to pull off some hero plays if you want to survive this one.
Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see SIMSY's about to get overrun. Jempty comes around the side. SIMSY, former teammates, will get taken down. Samty, though, comes up and confirms yet another kill for his score.
That is going to be one hell of a tough fight. Everyone is just trying to claiming whatever is available in the south right now is where most of the teams are. As long as you have a city in this circle, no matter where it is, that's going to be your last resort play. Snark trying to stay alive still. The French have yet to arrive. Wanted is on the other side. Drayden is there too. I'm not sure exactly where Reels is trying to cross around down to where we saw mxey before.
There's some third party coming in. It's TSM, and those shots you can hear starting to tap, tap, tap. FaZe turn around and try and return fire a little bit as they come through, and it catches them straight off guard. Nice push from FaZe Clan there to catch Snark off guard. It is going to be the only man they've lost, though. Reels is still kind of pinned. Drayden trying to do what he can to keep him safe.
I wanted to see what Reels was going to do on that one, because I don't think that any wheels were popped on the vehicle when he got trapped down by the tree, but he decided to stay and help Snark rather than try and use that time that Snark was occupying to get away. So that could potentially be 2 players now going down, and the other guys from Knights, they can't leave this one.
While this is still playing out, Team Liquid have chosen to go for a 2-2. 2 in Valordomar. I think they're going to go further up. CrowCrowd took a big rotate. They've come way down the west. TSM have moved away from their little engagement. They were third party in this fight that we're seeing on our screens. They've pulled away from that now. They're maybe going to be engaging with Reciprocity as FaZe try and move further south and try and get away from this one. Ubah runs over Aitzy. That was the push. That was the push play. And it may cost them. Reels, luckily, will get taken down by Ubah because that could have cost them too.
If he can... I don't know how this would happen, but if Wanted can somehow underhand a nade, that would be absurd. Also extremely unexpected, but Reels is going to go down. I don't see, I mean, Wanted, Drayden, get the hell out of here. You have nothing else to fight for here. Circle's just shifted away from you again. You need to go downhill, uphill on the other side.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you guys to play for up on that hill. You got your vehicles. Get the hell out of there.
2 big shifts over to the west. And 7 are loving life up on their hillside position. They were pretty much playing edge in Circle 2. Now in Phase 4, they find themselves in pretty much what is a god compound up on the hillside, watching everything play out. TSM trying to work the way up the hills. Monkey's nade that could roll down that little ravine if he catches them off guard. And it will. Look at that. It's almost like playing hole-in-one. Crazy golf down the line there. Good shot from Drayden. Catches Ubah on the hillside as we see another knock on FaZe.
They're delaying them, but to what? Like, with what in mind? They might get knocks. They will come in anyway. We're still that early on in the game. Reciprocity, TSM still holding each other off. Senya, you can see trying to cross 2, and that's going to be Ratio Edge shooting over towards him. Navi in issues as well. Pokemon is all by himself, but now the push up goes Wanted. Spots out Fuzzface. Drayden is actually there to help. Great enough. A little bit of delay coming in there.
Oh my god.
Wanted finds Aitzy, and now it's just 2 guys back on the hill.
But they've got them both knocked. Ubah's down low as well.
Mexey's
the only man
right?
standing. He's got the revive on him, and this has all gone wrong. From a 4-on-2 to a 2-on-2. Drayden will finish this job, and he's going down looking. He can see the smoke. They're in the blue. Ubah's going to get himself back on his feet. Sees mxey down low, tries to land a couple of shots, but the blue is going to hurt. This is Phase 5.
They thought they had them on the back foot, but nope, not going to happen. Fuzz and Aitzy, unfortunately, going down. You can see the blue, as you said yourself. It's going to be hard. Look how far out they are. There's no way in hell mxey survived this one with 10 bandages.
He's got no first aid, yeah.
He's dead.
So mutually assured destruction, I'm not too sure. FaZe in the end have cost themselves. So Ubah's the only one they need to worry about. mxey will bleed out the play zone. Wanted wants to just try and finish the kill maybe. Can't quite get close enough. But these guys are way outside the circle. They need to get moving.
Yeah, if we don't get in, you don't get in either. That's pretty much all it was. TSM slaughtered. Liquid found themselves a side to shoot from, and they get themselves a bit of a third-party opportunity on that one. They have a really good split on the southern side too. I think TSM tried to push underneath, but they got completely cornered by Liquid, who have set themselves perfectly up. FaZe going to go down as well. 4 points accumulated for the Pittsburgh Knights. Not sure how much more they're going to get. Drayden, he found bandages, but that ain't going to save him in this one. He's going to go down, and I think Wanted, unless if he can find some magic tools to get really fast towards the circle, is going to see the same fate real soon. G2 now, though, out towards CrowCrowd.
Yeah, NOOKIE, I think he's going to get caught off guard here, not hearing NELLOZ and Yannis creeping up the side. This is going to be a simple execution. NOOKIE going for the shots. NELLOZ knows where he is. He's just looking for the rest of the team now. We saw it yesterday. Once you have that opportunity to go for the shots, just take them. If you think of TSM yesterday when the Team Liquid standoff on Sandhog,
Rory,
absolutely could have taken more kills. And I was talking to James about it. And it's like, the problem is, as a player, you don't see it as... What you should see it as is, I could get one and a trade. But what you see it as is, I could get them all 3. I could get all 3. And you're just trying to play that perfect moment. And at this level, that perfect moment so rarely plays out. Reciprocity, they're crashing on the backside of ENCE as G2 try and clash with CrowCrowd. This is all happening on the hillside, and the kill feed, there's third-party central. GamerLegion, Team Liquid, and N47 all trying to get a part of Reciprocity and ENCE as they try and crash that compound. Misa getting caught out. Nade from NELLOZ doing great work. That's 2 CrowCrowd players he's took down now in the process. But Yannis, you can see on the hillside, they're getting pressure, but Timmy and Tiikzu.
There's so few places you can play from in these areas of the map, and now squad shifts back east once again. This game is making fun of the players, and they're doing everything they can to stay put. CrzyZZ falls down on his stomach. He's gonna get back up. He knows exactly where Tiikzu is, but he doesn't want to over-aggress on it. That nade could be scary. Seems like it doesn't do any damage, though.
Wanted the solo man for the night. Sees. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
There.
It's 10:47. Taking shots as he tries to move in. The circle, you did see the shift, by the way. It has pulled away from this fight on your screen. So G2 and CrowCrowd, again, maybe similar. They've got Team Liquid, the other side of the hillside, right? You can see them in the distance moving up the hill. So G2 have to deal with them. There's going to be mxey down. There is still 2 members of CrowCrowd on the hillside, but now Team Liquid, there's a couple of shots. That's just alerted them. There's someone coming over this ridge. Everybody's hit the dirt.
Liquid know they cannot push up that other side as long as G2 has the angle. They know the fight was prolonged, and EB found down by the vehicle. He's going to go down immediately. Seems to me like the Liquid squad is down to just 2, but look at that, 7 kills already accumulated for the team, and SIMSY now spotted out.
Look in the pip. Look in that pip.
That's,
4 in a vehicle for GamerLegion. We're getting ready to roll, boys. Well, they're going to have to send it. N47, oh, they're already getting shot. They're getting absolutely lit up by N47. Meanwhile, we see Jeems doing some work. They try and get across, but they're falling down the wayside. And GamerLegion go down to N47. That gives them 4 more kills. G2, meanwhile, are doing some great work here. That nade could catch out Gemty. You can see Jeems has already gone down. That's looking like it's on the money, as it will catch Gemty down. That leaves the last man. SIMSY, do not write him off, though.
SIMSY, you go in, you find the shack. we will hold off the guys while you make the run. I think that must have been somewhat of the call.
Look at his flank.
Yeah, good play from him. They have their eyes on this compound for sure, and Monkey's out on the side. Rustanmar seen now. miikaz is spotted too. First knock comes in. Gets the angle on towards Rustanmar as well, but can't really find him anywhere. miikaz, there he goes. Points secured. Only 2 kills so far, though, for reciprocity.
That right there was the smart play.
Yeah.
He went and just secured the kill, didn't go for it. Realistically, anyone else normally would just go for that and then instantly try and get the spray down on SKUIJKE and probably fail and maybe end up getting turned on. But that worked out. That was exactly it. Secure the point, got the point, don't need to get too greedy, reposition.
Maybe you get an off angle on him once again in the second. PokeMolodoi has been alone for a while, and he has a road to cross that doesn't seem like an easy one, because 7 are sitting and looking over towards him. Ratio edge as well. He does find Rustanmar. Monkey, great job in not only staying alive, but finding himself the double in there. Great effort put in by him to secure points and get himself inside placement points. PokeMolodoi found as well, and SIMSY the sneaky snake gets in there. 10 kills for Liquid, and we cannot count SIMSY out just yet.
He's got 3 kills and counting. He had 3 games yesterday where he had 6 kills, and 8 kills. So some monstrous performances from this man. So never write him off, even though he's solo. He's got 4 members of Razor Edge above him. Monkey, meanwhile, is pushing in towards N47. They have to move their way out of the compound at the moment. The big house is still in there. Razor Edge, though, 4 players of Riot alive up here with NIP downloads, still with 4 alive. This is possibly NIP's potentially best finish so far this week.
I think Razor Edge is the best team on Miramar at getting late with 4 alive. They do this so many times. Sure, sometimes they just sit in the compound to get the circles. Everyone can have those type of games. But they do so well in getting late game without being pressured, without being in the cluster side of the circle. Their understanding of where the boiling points are going to be in the circles to come and how to avoid that is a hard thing to do. And they're very, very good at it.
R7 watching. Are they aware that G2 are creeping up on their warehouse? It doesn't look like it. Nobody's looking this direction. How is that possible? That nobody is... this is unbelievable that they've allowed this to happen. There's 3 of them in that warehouse.
I think they know that they have the position one step further, and this is going to be out anyway. So they don't want to split too wide, not knowing where the kind of swamp could come from.
Well, Krabik's the man that's looking out the back. He's the one that's looking that direction, but there's no one looking towards there. Monkey's been spotted by VazScoop. Only a matter of time before this goes down.
Yeah.
That's another kill for M47. They've got to be at least 6 kills by now. We saw Razor Edge got 6 as well. So
the thing is, N47 can't really do a whole lot from where they are if they don't deal with the guys up top first. Seems like SIMSY was found. That's going to be called Amenta securing the point.
That's big.
7 kills for Razor Edge. Make that 8 potentially. Could they get the finish up on towards Gaxi? But look at this G2. They found 7, but they know they're coming.
No, that's going to go down the stairs, is it not? NELLOZ comes in. That's a little hold too long for Sadovnik. Almost catch the head there. Nades are going to be returned. That's actually gone straight to his feet, that nade. He was going to bounce down, but G2 down to 1. Braexco instantly knows there's one around the corner. He may just stick the revive. He may.
Buster's play there was very, very, very good. They baited super hard with Sadovnik throwing the nade, and he was right around the corner. That is exactly how you want to do these trades. Doesn't matter if you have the numbers or if you don't. If you can get these kills without any return fire, very hard to do and very impressive done by 7.
Krabic trying to get the flank around, but Braexco read it well. Little trade back and forward. Buster comes in, flushes it out. Braexco will get Sadovnik down, though. It's a 2v1, but the blue is right on his back here, and I'm not too sure he's got too much to play with. Going to use the edge of that smoke.
Gotta keep going, buddy. Cannot get the first hit off.
Can't get it through. Krabic will run through and catch him down. G2 down in 5th place, but M47 have moved up the hillside. T-Bone is right on them. Coldamenta instead will steal the kills away along with mxey. That's going to be 9, I think, for Razor Edge now.
Both Razor Edge and N47 knew we cannot do anything before we've claimed the northern side, or the hillside, that is. And, well, I mean, they both need to deal with it. NIP, well, doesn't matter how you get it. Circle's going your way. Now you got to claim it all, too. Circle could still, with the final one, shift further up the mountain, but should be guaranteed to go either on the compound or on the eastern side of it.
Yeah, don't overpeak.
Just stay. I mean, it's such a big downhill push for any team that, like, whoever team survived this, and I think N47 realizes this too. We have to get down with the next circle no matter what happens. There's no reason for us to try and contest Razor Edge up there.
Is there enough of a ridge line? I'm not too sure there is to get in.
They just need third party.
They're going to come with vehicles. Yep. Okay, so Vazku and Ival in the car, trying to pull up and see what they can get.
They do have the ridge line.
They do have enough ridge line.
Yeah.
I thought they did. Yeah, they have enough of a ridge line to stay themselves safe. They're inside the circle, both pulled up in the car.
They have to know the nades are coming. They have to know this. Spread out, spread out.
It's NIP. Of course the nades are coming. If anyone knows how to throw them, if you watched MPO yesterday, you know there's a hell of a lot of nades possibilities out there. But it is going to be a 3-way battle.
Also NIP.
4 player. This is impressive to have all 3 teams with 4 alive at this stage.
It's a hard thing to do for sure, and they've come into this one very differently too. I mean, N47 has played the southern side in the compound. Razor Edge has been playing the hilltop and doing a good job at holding their position for a while now. And that's, I think, why we see them with so many kills. It's not their early aggression plays that has paid off here. It's been how they've been able to hold people at bay with their DMRs.
The triple tiered hill position. Who will come out on top?
Do they have any cars up the hill, Razor Edge, or were they further south now?
I would be surprised if there is. That's going to
be the access to the compound. They need to crash it, I mean, at some point.
The problem is, I would say, for Razor Edge is that both NIP and N47 are looking up that hill at them. I don't think NIP are really too proactively looking down the hill, because they know that N47 are not likely to push it.
Having 4 guys alive, though, I feel like you have the resources that you have to dedicate at least one guy to making sure they're not trying to flank around or get an off-angle position or anything.
Yeah, but that Vard's the man that's just just watching what's going on back there. But everybody else is kind of tracking that hillside, which means you have a lot. Evil getting caught out. That's the Vard I was talking about.
That is the shift N47 was hoping for, and that's the reason that they decided to commit to go back down the hill rather than take the fight with Razor Edge up above. That nade is going to be right on the money. Vard, you talked about how NIP can throw them, and that one straight on top of the in-game leader of N47.
And they were talking about the fact they wanted a 50-point day. Well, they're starting off strong here on the second round. In Miramar, the first one was not good. It was a disaster, in fact. Mirakoo tracking SIMSY. They're actually all dashed to the side. That's Miikaz's getting caught out. Vard gets himself another 5 kills and counting. Mirakoo takes the head off SIMSY. Gets himself another knock. Razor Edge know they've got to push it. They can't afford to get the revive. SIMSY's trying to go for it. Coldamenta making the push, but he's running straight into the bullets of Vard. They're going to get around the side. The nades now. N47 making this pay. They're pushing on NIP.
They know both teams are vulnerable. They need to make a play on this. Gaxi now throwing nades. Only 1 more left to go, but the N47 need to do everything they can to take control out. SIMSY finds Mirakoo. Just 2 players alive. Lynxy is down the hill, but seems like N47 has gotten on in there. Great plays coming in from both teams, and N47 still passive on the backside.
Vazku almost landing that one through. MBS, though, doing work. Absolutely obliterating Razor Edge, and now we're down to a 2-team battle. They're going to get Mirakoo back in his feet. Gaxi going to get back in his feet, and leaves N47 a man down. but they have a really good spread around this house.
Next circle is going to go on the end. Vasco is found, maybe overstepping a bit. They know these guys have to leave the compound. Honestly, back off, wait for them. There's no reason to aggress into a position where you can get caught off guard. You have the ridge line, wait for them to leave.
They're pushing it.
They have to. 4v2, they have to.
MBS, Miraku, everyone's coming around the side there. They're going to try and charge him down. T-Boone getting caught out. That leaves Page, the last man standing, and Ninjas in pajamas get themselves their first win here at the PEL. And my word, they needed it in Phase 3. It's not been good, but that's a 20-point game, and that makes up, I think, got to be close to the points they've had for the last 2 days. It's been a terrible, terrible start for NIP. And that was a win that absolutely needs to boost the confidence.
We mentioned them coming into the game. We needed to see something for them this week, and that's exactly it. 21 points, 11 kills in that one. And they weren't just being passive. They knew this compound, sure, it's good, but we need to keep people away. They had a fight going on 2 fronts at one time, never lost a single member. Hard thing to do, they showed us, but they still belong here.
Yeah, it was, 5 kills for N47. Razor Edge, I think they were on 9. Ironically, while 7 held that hillside in the central position for so long, as is often the case, they only had 2 kills.
They were in a position for the longest time. They lost players early, first of all, so they couldn't really go out and aggress and take anything, and that was just tricky. FaZe as well, not the play they would have wanted to make. They thought, we were both saying, Knights, get the hell out of there. And I think FaZe were expecting them to have left by that time. So Aitzy and Fuzzface running up, caught off guard by Drayden. And unfortunately for them going down early, but that's a game they can shake off. They've been playing so well overall.
Yeah, just taking